Hello, and welcome to Japanese Craft Beer Reviews. Today, a special edition. I'm here with Al in Japan. Hello, Al.
Hello, good to be here.
And Al and I do reviews occasionally together, and I always respect his judgment. And he has the vocabulary to describe a beer, which is almost unparalleled, I think, among beer drinkers that I know. And really, he has an excellent palate, not only for beer but also wine, whiskey, what have you. Al can describe them all. So, Al, how are you doing?
Pretty good. I guess you got kind of out of the cat from the bag there. Other nickname is Boozing Al. So yes, I like to drink and
boozing Al.
yes,
Yes.
Boozing
Okay.
Al. So
Okay.
yeah, I like to booze and yeah.
And today we're going to be taking a look at a new beer from one of the four Japanese major breweries. It is this one. It's called Suntory World Craft Märzen. And it is a Märzen Oktoberfest beer. And it is part of the World Craft series from Suntory. And the World Craft series is notable especially for its label art. I think they use what looks like clip art from the 1990s or something like that. So this looks like something you might cut and paste, or you might have cut and paste 30 years ago if you were trying to illustrate an article or something like that online. Okay. In any case, it's a Märzen style, which is, of course, Märzen is the name for German beer, or German, from something from March, and typically brewed in March and then lagered until October. And so traditionally kept in ice caves until October for Oktoberfest, which of course we are in now, and that's clearly the reason why they have brought this out at this point. This is a Family Mart exclusive. You can buy it only at Family Mart convenience stores in Japan. And it was released on October 8th, 2024. And it is part of the Family Mart Autumn Beer Fair, which features 12 beer products and 8 snacks. So you might want to go down to Family Mart and see what those other beer products are and what those snacks are. This costs 234 yen, which is a little bit pricey for a beer from one of the Japanese majors. Generally, they're somewhere around 210, 220 or so. And that would translate into $1.56 in US dollar terms and €1.44 in euros. Right there, only one rating. Only one rating, and it is at 3.0 out of 5. I think of that as kind of in baseball terms, the Mendoza line, which means if you're hitting over 200 or not, below 200, and you're probably going to sit on the bench. And actually, I don't know who Mendoza was, but the term still applies. Untapped 39 ratings when I checked, and the average was just a notch higher, 3.06 out of 5. This is the 5th in the series of World Craft beers. They came out with something called a white beer in 2022. February 2023 brought out a pale ale, then Hop Cloudy Session IPA in January of 2024, and then a Refresh Saison in June of 2024. So they are going through some of the craft beer styles. And in Japan, it's in many places, it's what we call a crafty beer. A major brewers attempt to emulate craft beer styles to attract craft beer drinkers, or perhaps introduce regular beer drinkers to craft beer. So 5.5% alcohol by volume. Do not know the IBUs, International Bittering Units, at all, but I wouldn't expect terribly high. Okay, so this is a lager style for Oktoberfest, generally a little bit heftier in body alcohol than the typical lagers, and generally a bit more roasted as well. So Alan, what do you think?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think you described it pretty well. I am curious. It is our fall beer here, and Japan is known for its Oktoberfests. There are a lot of craft beer festivals in the fall, and you see a lot of sausages on the grill and lots of beer coming out. And so it's it's a nice tradition that Japan has taken over a lot of traditions from the West, like Christmas and Valentine's Day, and of course from Germany, Oktoberfest. So why not?
Probably the most important one for us.
Yeah, exactly. Good choice. Good choice,
Yeah.
Japan. We appreciate that.
Yeah, the Oktoberfest festivals in Japan tend to be a little bit pricey and tend to have some of the more commonly seen German beers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you do get German, German beer producers here with beer on draft, and so it is a chance to. I think locally I saw Warsteiner. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly, but Polaner, etc. A lot of the makers, major Japanese or German producers at these festivals as well, and you'll see them in even department stores in beer sections sometimes with beers on draft. So
yeah.
And
we should mention that brewing in Japan was developed by Germans who came to Japan during the Meiji era. Meiji period, starting after 1860 or so. And for many older Japanese, beer equals Germany, definitely. They equate Germany with beer. So long history of Germany, German brewers in Germany in Japan. Okay, let's give this one a go, shall we?
All right.
I don't have a mug like this, which I probably should.
There we go. Yeah, that would be the proper.
Eingemütlich. I don't know the rest of the song, but I do know it's 1, 2, 3 in German and Prost. You ready?
Eingemütlich.
Eingemütlich. Ready? 1, 2, 3 in German. Ein, zwei, drei. Prost.
Prost.
What do we got here? Okay, certainly a bit of roast malt.
Couldn't hold off.
Excuse me, my cat wants to get out.
Uh-oh. Yeah, nice a little bit of floral aroma. Just thinking, I got a lot of floral aroma from this, which is, kind of a pleasant, nice, kind of a sweet malt.
Definitely leads you to believe it will be sweet. Something little, very lightly spicy in the background too. Well, you're already into it.
Oh, I just can't resist.
Yeah, definitely malty nose, somewhat floral. I'm getting a little bit of spiciness, and I'm sure that's from some kind of hops, but they don't specify exactly. Okay. Well, yeah. This tastes like what might.
Yeah, serviceable. It'll do the job.
This goes down very smoothly. What we really need is a 1 liter Mass to, should have gotten one of those and filled up like 3 or 4 cans to get this. 350 milliliters.
It's a little light. Just for those viewers, we've actually just recorded one video before this with that Asahi Master Pilsner, and that one had quite a bit of malt to it, which was surprising to us, I think.
Yes.
This one, which should be malty, I notice it's not quite as malty as the Pilsner. I think that's my impression. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's a little bit thinner. It's got some weight though, and sweetness and heft to it, although the malt flavors are kind of fading a little bit for me.
It is. It's a slightly different. This is roasted a little bit more, and if I don't know if they followed the German tradition, if they brewed this in March and then lagered it, that would certainly
Right.
affect the flavor as well. It's malty,
Right.
but I think it's supposed to be a little bit lighter to go down easier.
Okay, yeah. So it's within the parameters of the style, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't had
Märzen should be very, very drinkable.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is probably right in the ballpark there.
Yeah. So you go to Oktoberfest and people are, downing those huge mugs, and having
Yeah.
and having
The
another.
1 liter. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is
Yes.
okay. It doesn't have a ton of character.
Yeah, does finish kind of a little bit dry, kind of a little bit of light roasted malt, but pretty clean finish for for this style. I think it's okay. It's not bad.
I think it's okay. Yeah.
It's okay.
Not much more than okay, I think, actually. Yeah. I say the one rating on Rate Beer was 3.0, and that was a rating by someone that we both know. And I think I would respect his judgment and probably give it about the same, maybe 1 or 2 points higher, a tick higher.
Yeah, I could.
It's very pleasant.
It's not. I would say it's not particularly complex. I would say if you wanted one that's major, that's more complex, that the one we just had, that Asahi Pilsner, surprisingly.
Yeah,
I would go for that. But this is, if you're curious about a Märzen style, October German style, and you might want to compare it to something. Let's see, who are some other makers of Märzen that we know offhand here?
I think Yebisu makes one, I believe. Nothing's coming to mind right at the minute, but
of course, any of the German makers of Märzen. I think Paulaner, I believe, has a Märzen. Of course, for a smoky version, there's the Schlenkerla.
Schlenkerla. That's a different animal, though.
That would be a different animal, yeah.
With the smokiness, but a more interesting animal, I think.
I do like the aroma on this one. It is, kind of lively, nice floral malty aroma. It's very inviting.
Yeah, this is okay. I would say not much more than okay. It kind of hits the style more or less, and doesn't go
a little thin, but I think that's maybe partly stylistic. If you want a bigger, maltier, of course, I don't know if we maybe, think of a Doppio or, a Doppelbock or something like that, where you get the big full-on, or Bock beer, then you get into the big malty German style.
Right.
So
you're not going to throw those down during Oktoberfest, or else
I would.
You'll be
if I could,
you'll be thrown on the ground.
Yeah. I wouldn't make it very. I wouldn't be pacing myself very effectively. I think. Yeah.
But these are designed to be, knocked back, crushed, as the craft beer geeks like to say.
And there's plenty of, with a decent amount of calories there to boot, to kind of, keep you full.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's not bad, but not good, not great either. Any final comments on this one?
I think if you're curious and you're in Family Mart, this is one of their limited special beers. You wanted to try it out. Yeah, it's worth a try. I'd say it's worth a try. Not bad. I don't think you'll be disappointed, unless you're from Germany and you have higher expectations. But yeah, it'd be okay. If you are looking for more craft styles, it might be something to have before you go into the craft bar, beer bar. And, it is a reasonable value. It doesn't cost that much. So if you're on a budget, that's, it's an option before you blow all your money at the craft beer bar, where the beers are much more expensive, but then also much more interesting. I can't recommend enough. Go to craft beer bars in Japan. It just you'll come across a lot of interesting things. It was not that long ago that Kyoto Lefty and we went across. We had a sour passion fruit beer, which I would not have expected to have liked, but it turned out for both of us to be the beer of the night. It was really a surprise that it was that good. In a style that normally that I would not have, a fruit beer that I'm not an expert on, or not particularly, I wouldn't say not fond of, but don't expect much from. So yeah, go to craft beer bars whenever you can.
Yeah. The craft beer scene is in Japan is quite is expanding, definitely. A lot of people took advantage of the downturn during COVID to buy places, to buy equipment, and it's really kind of taken off now.
It's been booming for at least a decade, really more. And maybe a third wave of craft brewing here in Japan.
We could say that, third wave now.
Yeah.
We're contrasting with the US, where things are flat or declining in most areas, I mean, it's kind of an oversaturation nowadays.
Yeah, people are turning to other kinds of alcoholic beverages, which is always it's from the business perspective, that's always an option for drinkers, that if you're not producing you're not producing stuff
for non-alcohol. People are not drinking as much, and hard seltzer is just booming now, apparently. So
all
right. Well, let's wrap this up, and thank you very much, Al. And we looked at Suntory World Craft Märzen. It's actually spelled Marzen with a umlaut over the A, pronounced Märzen. And it's an Oktoberfest at 5.5%. Buy it at Family Mart and give it a go. Let us know what you think. Al and I would like to hear your comments, and I hope you will subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much, Al.
Thank you. Always happy to be on.
Okay. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye now.